Well, I've been really sick again, but finally on the uphill, so I'm going to get some more work done on the cheap. While I've been sick, I've had some stuff arrive. My wheels came in. They are Raceline Daytonas, I think they're called. They're the 8-hole, kind of like a soft 8. The boxes actually don't say Raceline anywhere on them, which I didn't realize that. I guess they're all made by Allied, so... but whatever, they're USA made. They're 15 by 8, 5 by 4.5 with 3 3/4 back spacing. So I'm going to see how they fit. I'm going to get these existing wheels off and test fit these wheels really quick. I'm sure they're going to work, but I want to make sure before I go through all the effort. So my lift still hasn't shipped and I'm running out of time. I mean, I still got 6 weeks or so before I need to be ready to go for Moab, but I got to be realistic. I don't think I'm going to get half of the stuff done that I wanted. I was planning on showing up to Moab with 35s and a 4.5-inch lift, an 8.8 in the rear, a body lift. I had a bunch of stuff planned, but nothing has arrived. So, or not everything has arrived. My lift being the key part of that. So, I'm just going to drop these wheels off at Discount Tire, have the wheels, unmounted, bring them back, and I'm just going to run these 31s for a while, longer than I planned, and mount the 31s myself onto these beadlocks. I am going to use balancing beads, just like airsoft BBs. There's a chart you can find online that gives you an idea of how many or how much weight you need, depending on what your wheel and tire size is. So I'm just going to go with that, or I'm going to go with what that recommends. I'm also going to try to finish my steering up, finalize it, and start working on the brakes. I have a new master cylinder and brake booster from Dave's Customs here, and I'm going to try to get that on too and just get all of the brakes and steering done, at least on the front. When I get the 8.8 swapped in, obviously I'll have to do some more work back there, but that won't be too bad. Plenty of room. I'll need to check the other side too, since it has the extra, tie rod in, but I think it's going to be fine. Alright, I'm going to run and get these dismounted. One thing I forgot to mention, I bought a trailer not too long ago, so be seeing a video about that at some point. I'm going to do a video of not only the Jeep being on it, but just how my truck, my Rebel, does towing it too. So that'll be coming up at some point. Alright, I'm halfway done mounting these wheels on the beadlocks. It's a little bit of a pain. I'm having to tap every single bolt hole, 32 per wheel, just because there's so much paint inside of them that the 5/16 bolts aren't going in. So that's pretty disappointing. It's probably taking me about 2 hours per wheel just because I'm having to do that. I'm adding some airsoft pellets for each one. It's about 4 ounces, I think, is what I found. I found a chart online that said how much weight to add, and since I'm only running 31s, it only needs 4 ounces. So ideally I'd already have my brakes and everything done before putting these wheels on, but I just need more room in the garage. I got so much stuff in here with the wheels everywhere and the tires everywhere and tools and that, so I need to get it cleaned up a little bit, then I can start working on the brakes. These wheels use 414 valve stems. Make sure you get the right ones. It's the 453 or .453 hole on these. I had 415s, which was the wrong size, so I had to go get these from the auto parts store. I've been using Simple Green as my lubricant just because I have it. I've been taking the valve core out too, just because it gives the air somewhere to go when you're maneuvering the tire around. I didn't do this on the first wheel, and some air got in there and compressed just enough to when the bead popped off again, it blew all my balancing beads out. So, a little bit of a tip there. Dab of cutting oil. I do 3 at a time. It's just paint. Alright, they're all tapped. This was a clean rag. That's all paint chips and debris from inside those threaded inserts. Alright, let's get the tire going. Alright. Got it centered. Lock ring. I had to go get some longer bolts and use these sockets as a spacer, just because these bolts are too short to grab it initially. Get them snugged. Alright, I'm going to do 3 90s, 3 90s, 3 90s, 3 90s. Until it gets sucked down enough, then I'll put the other bolts in. Alright, there we go. The instructions say to bump it to keep it centered as the ring tightens it down and centers the wheel. And the best way I found to bump it is with a hammer and smack the crap out of it. It's been working so far. Now I'm going to do star pattern as best I can. Torque these all down to 18 foot-pounds. I'll probably do the star pattern, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and then I'll go around in a circle and just make sure they're all torqued. This part takes forever. Now that I've crisscrossed applesauce for precisely 150 million times, I'm going to do the final circle. The gap around the lip of the rim is completely even, and the gap between the bolts is even as well. Alright, aired up. Now, unfortunately, I don't have one of the clip-on valve, tire inflator pieces, so I have to actually have my hand in front of a beadlock while I'm airing them up, which is pretty sketchy. But this inner bead on the other ones has been seating really low, like a really low pressure, something like 5 psi, so I'm not too worried about it hurting me or anything. That's it. Check the leaks. Alright, I'm done until I get a spare, so I think it looks pretty cool. Once it, that's kind of how high it's going to be with 4 inches of lift, and those wheels and tires. I don't think they look too bad. They don't look too small or anything. So today is February 19th. I actually have a 3-day weekend this weekend. I have President's Day off on Monday, so I'm just going to spend all weekend in the shop trying to get the steering finished and my new brake booster, my cylinder in, as well as finish up the brake lines. They're still kind of, roughed in. I'm not really completely finished with them yet. So the lift still hasn't shipped, and the slip yoke eliminator still hasn't shipped. So at this point, I'm planning to just go to Moab like this. Not ideal, but with the locker in the front, it'll still be pretty capable. I just won't have that much clearance, especially being spring under with 31s. Some people would say it's a waste to put 31s on beadlocks, and I'd probably agree with that because you can't really air down that much because you're so limited on ground clearance. But I wanted to drive my Jeep, and my other wheels didn't really fit with the WJ brakes. These fit perfectly fine, so at least now I can drive the Jeep, even if it's not exactly what I had planned to take to Moab. I got a bunch of other parts ready to go on. They're all kind of like supporting mods for the lift and tire size that I want to run. Still planning on going to 35s and keeping the factory, metal fenders and everything with some different plastic fenders probably. I bought some TJ fender flares, so we'll see if I need to use them or not. That's it for this video. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I've just been really sick, like I said, but I'm going to get this uploaded tonight, and then Sunday and Monday I'm just going to work on brakes, brake booster, you know, stuff like that. So that'll be the next video probably, is the brake booster, master cylinder, and just steering, finishing up the steering and stuff like that. So, alright. One more thing I want to mention, these wheels are not DOT approved. Some people might care about that. For me personally, it doesn't matter for several reasons. One, I know a ton of people that use these wheels on the street. Well, I don't know a ton of people. I know of a ton of people that use these wheels on the street with no problem. I think it's mainly not DOT approved for liability reasons. But two, where I live, everybody drives their side-by-sides and dirt bikes and four-wheelers on the road, and it doesn't matter. It's not a big a deal. It's commonplace. So running beadlocks on a Jeep on the street, it doesn't matter. Three, anywhere this Jeep goes, it's not a daily driver, so it's not like it is going to see a bunch of highway miles. And if we go somewhere that's far away, it's going to get towed there. I'm not going to be driving it there. And last reason, I have direct access to public lands and off-roading areas from my neighborhood. I can just go to the end of my street and drive straight onto dirt and have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trails and miles of empty desert and all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't matter. But if it matters to you about being DOT approved, these are not for you, obviously.